Hidden beneath the waves of the inner sea, and in the dark depths of the Sea of Ghosts, lie many sunken treasures just waiting for the intrepid adventurer to recover. Many of these troves consist of general, if somewhat valuable merchandise, mostly moon sugar and skooma from wrecked smuggler ships, or worse, sixth house items that thankfully never made it to their destinations. Those are all well and good, but today I want to show you two of the most amazing underwater finds in Tamriel Rebuilt's greatly expanded world space. Greetings, Outlander, Gitshiver here, and today we're going after two unique and extremely powerful weapons, some of the strongest we've seen in fact. That being said, the process of actually acquiring them can be rather difficult, if you insist on breathing oxygen, as they'll require entering multiple cells with no handy pockets of air available. But fret not, my non-Argonian friends. I have a brief instructional video to properly prepare you for an extended underwater investigation before we get going. Swimming can be a great source of exercise, but if you're planning on taking the plunge, you're going to need to consider a few things. The average Enwa can hold their breath for 20 seconds, fine for some shallow pearl diving, but extended trips into the drink will require a way to refill your lungs. Fortunately, there are many methods available to you through the power of water breathing. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours. Yay! If you have a notion to brew a potion for the ocean, then the fine folks at Gitshiver Labs have put together a list of helpful ingredients, all of them chock full of breathy goodness. Any combination of Hackalo leaf, luminous rasula, kwama cuddle, and pearl will produce a usable potion. While these ingredients are simple enough to find in the wild, a restocking supply is available from today's sponsor, Ines Seloth, Sadrith Mora's #1 supplier of alchemical materials and equipment. Mention our promo code BRIBE1000 gold to get a discount on your purchase.
I'm waiting.
If alchemy isn't for you, still consider taking some luminous rasula. This mushroom's unique chemistry can give you a brief breath simply by eating it. It won't last long, but it will refill your lungs, buying you precious time. Water breathing is also available in spell form. Uleni Hlaren offers the preferred spell, Vivek's Kiss in Sadrith Mora's Mages Guild, while Marin Dren teaches the simpler water-breathing spell out of the Balmora Mages Guild. Just remember that you may also run out of magicka, so be sure to plan accordingly. If neither of these methods appeal to you, then you need to head out to Aldrune's Tribunal Temple to see Ereso Drath and purchase a water spear. This little beauty has a cast-on strike water-breathing effect that lasts for 100 seconds per strike. For the best results, strike at an enemy once with this spear, then swap back to your normal weapon. It's also important to remember that this only works if you have an enemy around, so make sure to leave a small fish or two. Lastly, remember that teleportation magic is your friend. Bring along some intervention scrolls or use mark and recall so you can quickly escape should you run out of air. Be safe, be smart, and you'll be Survivn Divin'. Now that our safety video is out of the way, we can get going. For our first dive site, we need to travel down to Tel Brenora on Vardenfell's southeastern coast. Once you arrive, travel south to the end of the island, then swim or fly south over the water. It isn't too long of a trip, and you'll soon see the mainland in the distance. We're looking for an area where the marshy swamp gives way to a foyada. This is the Sundered scar that gives the region its name. From the coast here, we need to swim east, and before long, you'll come across a sunken ruin. This is the ancient Dunmer stronghold of Idaverrano. The approach may be a bit treacherous, with slaughterfish and drow all around the area. But don't worry, the inside has way more of them than there are out here. For the most part, that's all you'll find inside, along with plenty of collops for pearl enthusiasts. But there are still quite a few points of interest to see here. The Propylon chamber is still active, with one portal available to the lost city of Kalan, which was ripped from Mundus during the war with Tiber Septim. The other portal seems to be disconnected, perhaps leading to a place that's not yet in the game. The rest of the exterior and the dome contain little of interest, so we'll make our way into the lower level of the main stronghold. In here will be many more drow and slaughterfish to fight, and while there are many urns and Velothi chests around, very little has remained since the stronghold fell beneath the waves. Just follow the corridor around to the stairs and head down to the bottom floor. The main room of this level is just ahead to the northwest. In here, we'll find more denizens of the deep to deal with, but once they're out of the way, we can head southwest into a side chamber featuring a collection of ancient Nordic weapons, including a particularly hard-to-find Nordic warhammer and some enchanted variants. In the eastern corner is the only valuable urn that I found here, with a collection of scrolls you should grab before returning to the central chamber. In the northwestern room, I found an unusual device of unknown function, featuring pylons similar to a propylon, but with what seems to be a map of Aetherius with Dwemer script overlaid. This seems to be some sort of Dwemer-Chimer hybrid device, possibly offering transport or communication between this and a similar device elsewhere. That's very interesting, but it isn't what we're here for. If we go back out the door into the hallway and turn right, we'll find our way into a large room in the western corner. There seems to be nothing here until we enter the small room off to the southern side, and there, in a small alcove, we'll find our target. This is Nerevar's axe. Its true name is a secret known only to Lord Nerevar himself, and he's not talking. This is the same axe that the Hoarder used under Vivek's tutelage in the 36 Sermons. It provides better base stats than a Daedric war axe and weighs a third less as well. The axe also has 3 constant effect enchantments, which is highly unusual for a weapon. Wielders will enjoy 15 points of Fortify Axe, 10 points of Fortify Luck, and 20% resistance to normal weapons. Nerevar's axe is slightly less durable than a Daedric equivalent, but is still more hardy than Ebony, and is my new favorite axe in the game. Now that we have what we came for, we can make a hasty escape. From here, Almsivi Intervention will take you back to Moligmar on Vardenfell, while Divine Intervention will send you to Old Ebonheart on the mainland. Wherever you end up, you're sure to have the nicest axe in town when you arrive. For our next deep sea score, we'll have to do a bit more traveling than usual, but it's well worth it. I'll be starting from Firewatch on the northeastern peninsula of the mainland. This is the primary hub of the region and can be reached by boat from Dagonfell or Sadrith Mora. Speak to the boatman who brought you here and travel to Nivalis, a town on the island at the very top of Morrowind. Then, take a boat out to Bal Oira, at the tip of the Telvanni Peninsula.
Short trip, long trip, you decide.
Now we must travel to the sheltered harbor of Tel Oyada down the eastern side of the coast. Once you've arrived, we'll need to transition to a less conventional form of transportation. Here in the Telvanni Isles, it's not unusual to see large aquatic bugs known as river striders ferrying passengers between towns and islands. The bugs are preferred by the less imperialized Telvanni, and I'm quite fond of them myself. We'll be riding this water beetle all the way out to Port Telvannis, true capital of House Telvanni. This is one of, if not the largest mushroom city in Morrowind, and well worth checking out if you're a fan of the style. For today, we're simply making a connection here as we transfer to the local ferry for the final leg of our journey, with a trip to Sada's plantation. Upon arriving at the plantation, eagle-eyed explorers may notice the unusual island off to the north. This is the Isle of Arches, obviously, and it's our final waypoint above the water, though fly or swim over to the dock on its southern shore. Now we can head underwater. We're looking for a large trench cutting through the sea floor. Be on the lookout for the usual wildlife, but keep in mind that we're in the Padomaic Ocean now, so you may just see a few new creatures as well. Once you're done playing with the fish, head into the trench and travel south. Before long, the chasm will fork. Swim through the northeastern side, and you'll see an entrenched shipwreck. On board this boat is the bounty we came for. The upper cabin is filled with floating fine furniture flung furiously forward in the ferry's final fracas, as well as some general clutter items. At the back below the bookcase, however, is Roderick's chest, trapped and locked at level 100. If you're not able to pop the lock, don't worry. There's a key on board in the lower hold of the ship, so let's go get that now. The middle deck didn't seem to fare much better than the cabin, and plenty of empty crates are floating around like ice cubes in here. The lower hold, however, provides a good bit of more valuable, if gruesome, treasure. Upon entering the hold, the first thing that hits you is a Drew, making for a good water spear target. Besides him, we'll also find the bodies of what I assume were the crew and passengers of the doomed vessel. All of the drowned corpses carry a probe, ring, and amulet of varying quality, and some gold. Interestingly, there's one regular corpse in here as well, suggesting that they may have died before the ship sank. At the back of the ship, we'll find the body of Roderick. He has 3 telekinesis potions for some reason, possibly in case the key under his hand were to fall between the crates. As you likely figured out, this is the key to his chest upstairs. Before you go rushing off though, the crates that he's sitting on are well worth investigating, as they each hold 10 pieces of raw glass, ready to be turned into the finest light armor and weapons. But even the durability and lethality of glass pales in comparison to what Roderick was keeping in that chest of his. Using the ornamental key, we find a stash of 3 diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. But the true treasure is the daikatana Divin. Its upper damage threshold is quite near Daedric levels, but its minimum damage output is much higher, leading to more consistent damage over time. And at almost half the weight, it's clearly the better choice between the two. That's also before considering its constant effect, Fortify Longblade by 25 points. Truly, this is one of the finest blades in the entire game. There's also a side quest related to this blade. An altmer named Anerwen in Gitshiver on the island to the south will agree to become your follower if you provide him with the sword, making him an excellent companion for difficult quests. Even if he dies, you'll still have this fabled blade to use yourself. I was unable to find any lore related to this sword, but it seems to be an interpretation on the sword of Divin, an unusually sharp, intricate, and unharnished blade generally attributed to Divin, one of the last ancient Chinese kings of Yue over 2,000 years ago. As far as making a quick exit from this shipwreck, CV intervention will send you to Rune, deep in the center of the peninsula, with Siltstrider travel to Tel Oyada, Bel Oira, or Helnum. Divine intervention will send you all the way back to Firewatch on the inland coast. If you're doing Anerwen's quest, the most direct path back will be to swim back to the Sodus plantation and take the River Strider to Gitshiver. Either one of these weapons is a masterwork fit for a king, and there are many more incredible artifacts to locate throughout Morrowind, both above and below the waves. But that's gonna do it for right now. As always, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please do leave a like and consider subscribing for more. We always have new videos in the works to add to our growing catalog. You can catch us live here on YouTube every Sunday, and now on Twitch during the week. Special thanks go out to all of our channel members for their ongoing support. As always, I've been Gitshiver. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!